Hello, everybody. We're back here again for another episode of Fartist feature. Yes, I'm very excited to get to talk to you because you have been doing some really cool things in comics. Oh, I'm very excited.
Quite the comeback.
Yeah, if you don't know, this is Jay Stevens, and here, let me make it weird. We're gonna make you the big. There you go. Boom. There's your lovely face there. Whoa. Also,
Some of my stuff.
yes, your super dope stuff I see back there, and can't wait to get into all that nerd stuff. I feel like we like the same stuff. For those that are just joining us, and may not know you, please give us a lovely introduction. Who are you? What do you do? Why are you here?
I'm here today as the writer of Red Sonja Attacks Mars, but
Yes.
I returned to comics a couple of years ago after an absence in animation. So a lot of people out there might know me from my animated TV work on Tutenstein and The Secret Saturdays, Jetcat before that on Nickelodeon, and then before that, I was an indie cartoonist. I started my career way back in 1990. So I've been making comics on and off for a long time, but recently returned. So now I just can't. I don't know what happened. I'm like busier than I've ever been. So currently working on where is it? Dwellings.
Yes.
For Oni Press. We've got a new series coming out late this year, as well as working on writing and variant covers for the relaunched EC Comics through Oni Press as well. So very exciting times. And also with the recently revived Gold Key Comics, I've got a kids comic, Figgy Furthermore, coming out really soon too.
Yes. I'm actually a huge fan of Gold Key Comics, Still Comics. I love all that old stuff. It's actually one of the reasons why I love Star Comics. I love like the cartoony, fun vibe. I know, good times. I actually read your Dwellings back in the day. I think I did a review on it on NetGalley.
Right on.
Way back in the day. No, I love it. I love like the humor in there, plus the art style that you did in there. It's very much kind of like that Gold Key-ish kind of thing, which I super duper really love.
Absolutely, it's a bit of a time travel. It looks a lot like, vintage mid-century kids comics. Specifically, it's sort of skews towards more of the Harvey comic stuff, like Casper and Little Dot and Hot Stuff. Yeah, I thought it would be fun to try writing a serious, straight-up adult horror comic that looked like that. Right? I had a feeling that it would make the horror more disturbing, and from what I hear from fan reactions, is that it worked. It's weird in a good way.
It's a good mix. It's a good mix. So I have a lot of friends that are huge into like the golden age stuff, like the hot stuff and all that stuff. The Casper, that stuff is so much fun to read when you see that. There's just something about the art style in that time period that's just kind of refreshing when you see art. And I love that.
Well, it was kind of an abandoned classic American cartooning style, right? Is that it was best-selling comics for a long. They were best-selling comics for a long time. Richie Rich in particular, and then kind of fell out of fashion and disappeared, and were thought of for many years as kind of like garbage comics that nobody would collect. They were literally comics that were made for kids, but the art is beautiful, and as a kid I was so attracted to that drawing style. Like, it brought you right in. So there's something magnetic about the way that stuff is drawn that I wanted to try to recreate or build upon, and then adding character driven horror to it just hopefully makes it even more interesting. I don't know.
It's fun. It's like cartoon violence for whatever reason. It like gets you every single time. But there's something about that art style. Plus, like, you get like violent and demented. It's like fantastic.
And it's not unheard of in American comic making to have like cute looking stuff that's horrible. It's been done, but it's a lot more common in manga. You know,
Oh yeah.
the idea of something that looks cute but that hits hard is not that surprising in other places in the world. It's just a little more unusual when someone like me is doing it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. Cartoons, I'm a sucker for cartoons and anime. I love both horror, whatever. It's all that's my jam. If you could mix all of that together, that's the best. And yeah, apparently people are freaking out already because of the redheads. Yes, I know. And redheads and a red planet. Yes. So you guys
Exactly.
are just joining us. Yeah, this is Jay Stevens. We're
You
gonna be
get
getting
it.
into Red Sonja Attacks Mars, which is probably an amazing crossover, and I can't wait to actually figure out how this actually came about.
Okay.
I'm very excited for this. Let's see. If you were a redhead, you'd stare at yourself all day. I'm sure there's a lot of people in chat that would also stare at you. We have a lot of redhead fans.
You know, they make really good wigs.
They do. They do, A1.
You could be a redhead anytime you want.
Get you a really good redheaded wings. Yeah, let's go. Yes, Attacks Mars. So, okay, if you guys are just joining us, the premise of this book is basically Red Sonja and Mars Attacks. Basically, it's amazing. And can you please give us a little bit, because you were the writer on this, which I like, because you do the art, you do cartooning and do other stuff, but you're doing the writing on this series. How is that different that you're not doing the art on that? How would that go?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I've collaborated basically throughout my career in different ways. I mean, on animation, you're working with like dozens, if not 100 people. We are live, yes.
Yes.
And so they're different. It's like, for me, it's like in music, sometimes you're a solo performer, singer, songwriter, and sometimes you have a band. Both are interesting. Both are exciting. When I write for myself, it's I kind of write and draw simultaneously. I don't actually do full scripts for myself because I know what I'm thinking. And I definitely only write stuff that I feel like drawing. So with Red Sonja Attacks Mars, I could write like, you know, a long scene on a pirate ship that I didn't feel like drawing that poor Franz Strucken has to draw for me, which is great. I don't have to do the heavy lifting.
I love that. And so, like, out of the two things I would ever thought would cross over, I don't think I would have picked those two things because they're just so like vastly different. But it kind of works.
Yeah, it at first glance it seems like two completely disparate ideas mashed together, which sounds like dwellings, really. So maybe that's why they approached me for writing it. But I don't know how many people know this, but there was in I think 2020 there was a Dynamite comic called Mars Attacks Red Sonja. So they have met before, and I missed that book. I did not know that it happened. So reading that, I mean, gave me an idea of how this could work. Let's put it that way. It's like, what the? This is insane. So this follow-up does come on the heels of that original story, but is a brand new entry-level story. So if you haven't read the previous Mars Attacks Red Sonja, you can come into this cold. The only thing that's sort of taken for granted is that she's aware of the Martians at this point. And so for me, just talking about those two crazy ideas crashing into each other, for me, just approaching it as actually like an old weird tale story, like a straight ahead weird adventure story.
Oh, nice.
It made the Martians make more sense, because in those old Robert E. Howard stories back in the day where he was hanging out with H.P. Lovecraft and they were sharing dark gods, the ideas of like skull-headed invaders from the outer worlds is not that out of place actually in Hyboria. So it kind of started to work for me.
I like that. I like that a lot. And we got a couple fans in here, but yeah, no, I did not know the 2020 series was about. And because I wasn't really in comics, that's kind of when I was getting back into comics, but I was like going through like older stuff at the time. But yeah, no, now I'm very intrigued. Now I'm going to go find that because I really love the Mars Attacks series. They're fantastic. It's so wacky. It's so fun. Like there's like endless possibilities with that. It's great.
Absolutely. I mean, that's my favorite thing about it, I think, is that I'm an old Mars Attacks fan. I think they reissued the. Well, I'm an old guy, you can tell. They reissued the trading cards in like '82 or something like that, and that's when I
Trading cards,
collected them all.
yes.
Yeah, they're like the reprints of
Oh,
the original Mars Attacks cards, and
yeah.
it's you know, again it tells a little bit story about an invasion, but it's mostly just extreme, controversial, gross, hilarious stuff. And the Martians and Mars Attacks are like the boiled down Red Scare invaders from outer space thing, like boiled down to its essence, literally boiled down to just its bones, you know, like, and there's something beautiful about that because it's so primal, it's so simple that you could really hang anything else on that. They are just, you know, the enemy from out there. I don't know. I love Mars Attacks, and
It,
also, I mean, the
so good.
movie too, right? I mean, I obviously am a child of Tim Burton.
Yeah. Oh, Tim Burton, lots huge, super, super sparks your creativity when you see this any of his films. It's like I want to draw, I want to do something, create whatever. But yeah, no, it's just so wacky, but it works and it's amazing. I just love that movie. And yes. So yeah, I dropped a link right here, CJ, and this is the link right now because you
Yep.
are releasing. It's on sale at the end of March, but they're doing pre-orders and stuff right now. I believe it's also on Diamond to order as well. So if you guys want that, there's some really good covers in here. You got the Linsner cover, which is the one I have. Where are we at? Whoops, no, how to get smaller again? Where's my little doodads? Oh my gosh, right there. There's the Linsner cover, but you also have a very, very amazing Jay Lee cover.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I've always been a huge fan of Jay Lee back even in the 90s. It was good time stuff. I love all that stuff. Oh, what's up? How you guys doing? But
That's
yes.
that's the cool
Yeah.
thing about working for a publisher like Dynamite is
Yeah.
I'm like I never thought I'd have a comic with a Jay Lee cover.
Oh,
It's crazy.
that's got to be, especially just getting back into comics too, because you're used to writing and doing your own stuff. So you're writing something, you get to work with all these amazing artists. I find that so fascinating when you finally get to meet or
Yeah, like e-meat, like really
yeah,
great work.
you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. But no, it's amazing that like, you finally get to work with like people, or you run into somebody that you've been an idol of or a fan of for a long time. You finally get to collaborate with them, and I think that is so much fun to see people getting together for that.
I love it. I love the chance of. I mean, I was kind of teasing before about drawing pirate ships for people just to be mean, but I love to see people reinterpret or interpret, not reinterpret, my scripts. You know, because
Yeah.
I can see them in my head. The way I write too is a little bit over descriptive. I'm kind of if I can't thumbnail it, I kind of overwrite it. I so far my collaborators don't seem to mind, but it's been pretty cool over at EC2 is, you know, getting to collaborate with my old friend Dave Lapham on some stories. Really fun to see somebody else run with your ideas, and there's a thrill to that too. I'm not a control freak, you know. I can let some stories go. I don't need to draw everything. Also, I don't have time to draw everything.
I know. I'm getting back into art after a very long time, and I'm like finding my love for doing horror stuff. But yeah, I just no time in the day to do like all the arts, all the writing, all that stuff. But I love when people, you know, give it a go, get out there. It's good times. But no, this is very exciting. Is this going to be a series or is this a one shot for this
series? Yeah. It was written as 4 issues, so I'm assuming Dynamite's sticking to that.
Okay.
I'm not the boss of that, but yeah, it should be 4-issue series. We get to run Red Sonja all over Hyboria. It's I basically, like, it's interesting. I wrote it as I said, kind of a pretty straight up adventure story. It's very sword and sorcery, that just happens to have Martians hiding among them. No big spoilers, but yeah, there are Martians in it. And
No.
and it's, you know, it starts pretty simply, almost like, well, I mean, for me, those two ideas, like I said, I think I first became aware of the Mars Attacks trading cards in like the 80s, the early 80s, which was around the time that those Conan, Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, and the Red Sonja films were out. So around that same time, and movies back then were absolutely nuts. You know, like 80s filmmaking in the early 80s.
bonkers.
Like you could get a movie like Time Bandits or The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, Across the Eighth Dimension, or one that was really coming into my head while writing this was Krull, which is kind of sword and sorcery sci-fi. Like it's so dumb in a great way.
Yes.
Like when you were watching adventure films back then, like popcorn films back then, anything went. You had no idea what was going to happen next. It was insane. And so because these two projects remind me of that time, that's what I was trying to write here. Is I was trying to tap into that like 80s nonsense, anything goes adventure filmmaking. So that's kind of the pitch.
Yes, that is some of my all-time favorite stuff. Krull, listen, when you watch those movies in the 80s, there was no CGI. You had the little clay monsters, you had special effects. And to me, that what brings you into the movie more, because you could look at a scene and pause it and then just really get into the art style that somebody has created, like all the special effects back in the day. There was so much glitter. It's fantastic.
So true. Or like if they're firing like electrical bolts or something, they're just like drawing that animation on the film afterwards. And I love it. It's so great.
Oh, or you let my favorite thing is watching behind the scenes footage. Oh, like, oh shoot. Yay, cold weather. Oh man, yeah, that was a sneeze right there. But I have a question for A1. We'll get to that in a minute. But yes, no, I love the behind the scenes, and like you see like the vast scope of like the cities they would build in like toy style to do like the space scenes and stuff. Oh, that is so fascinating to me. I absolutely adore all of that stuff.
And I mean, there are still people that are making props and models like that too, but it is kind of almost a lost art. Like that would have been such a great gig. Can you imagine getting to work on a film like that and building all those miniatures and the makeup effects and oh man, so cool.
Yeah, and I really enjoy that's one of the things I like about the Hellraiser series, because they always stick true to special effects, like practical effects. And I love that they figure out ways to do makeup that's like just straight up practical. And I love that. It's an art style, and I want to see way more people get into that. I would love to go take some classes of that. That would be fun.
Yeah, I'm still obsessed with. I follow a lot of special effects folks on social media because I can't get enough of it.
Oh, I was obsessed with the Face Off show back in the day.
Yeah,
when that was on. Cool. It was so good. That was so creative. I love all of that stuff. It's amazing. But yeah, let's see. What do you think? Oh, nice. Yeah, I was a big fan in the 80s when you had the flip book with the cassette and you had to read along to that's good time stuff.
Turn the page. Yeah, they would have a little or a ding to tell you it was time to. Yeah, love that. Actually, speaking of soundtracks, I have a habit of doing that. I do make my own Spotify playlists for the books I do. Just kind of stuff, inspirational music. So I'll throw one up for Red Sonja Attacks Mars too.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I have your link tree, and you can find the links to your Spotify up in there. But you also have a very cool YouTube channel, which I have been linking down below, because I love that you get into all the gold key books. You get into some stuff, but you also talk about your projects and things. But
well, thanks. It's fun. I mean, I don't put up videos often enough because I'm too busy. But it's just another way for me to connect. But yeah, you guys should check those out. And for those people that are interested too in my process, there are some like how I work videos too that are kind of, I think, are fun, or I've been told are interesting. Yeah.
And Splash Page, you came to the right show right now, because we're talking to Jay here, and he has a book for Red Sonja Attacks Mars. And he has life-size. Oh yeah, he has life-size Mars Attacks animatronics. It is.
Oh, cool.
Comic compound.
Right on.
Yeah. It's good stuff. I know. Yeah, that's why he's dropping little alien faces.
Yes. Well, then you're gonna get it. You're gonna
yes. Let's go.
Yeah. You're gonna. I mean, we've got in the first issue. So as I mentioned, there was a previous Mars Attacks Red Sonja series. that was collected in, I think, 2020. And it's pretty. I mean, the premise is pretty crazy. So as you can imagine, it's pretty crazy. So, you know, our challenge was to try to at least match that or top that. So we have got Martian zombies, Martian pirates. Yeah, we undead Martian mummies. It's
whoa.
Guys. It's also we still have Robert E. Howard's Hyborian snake men and ape men, and there's magic and metamorlocks and a talking owl with a human face. It's got everything.
Everything you would want from like a weird sci-fi fantasy sort of movie in the 80s, which I know a lot of people in the chat absolutely adore. So yeah. One Moon movie that's amazing, and it was my phone screensaver for like 2 years. If you've never seen it, go check out Biohazard. It's so cheesy, it's amazing.
I don't think I've seen Biohazard.
So you gotta watch it. It's dumb. It's just like sci-fi stupid creature monster movie. It's amazing. It's a little sci-fi twist. It's fantastic. Let's go. Oh, good question. Are there robot squirrels?
Oh, not in this one. That's a great idea, though.
Oh,
I would, but we do reference the giant bugs. I don't know how many people are actually familiar with the Mars Attacks trading cards, the original like 60s trading cards, but they're awesome. And you've got to get a hold of the visuals online where the original uncensored ones, because there were a few cards that were considered too transgressional at the time and were repainted for the immediate reissue. So, but I think one of them is where it's the Martian's just disintegrating some poor crying kid's puppy. It's brutal stuff. But there were a whole bunch of the original Mars Attacks cards that had like giant robots and giant bugs. There was some like crazy kaiju stuff in there, and that did not make it into the Tim Burton film. So, you know,
that's sad.
You know, Mars, Red Sonja Attacks Mars does not necessarily feature those things, but they're referenced. They were bringing back the giant stuff.
I love it. Yeah, I recently just got back into cards again after I was cleaning out my closet, and I found some Bernie Wrights and Brom set of cards. Oh, they're so good. They're just, the art on there is just so freaking good. It's amazing. And yes, Jason, we got a lot of artists in the chat here that do comics and things. So yes, I believe you're gonna love it. But also there are blanks for this as well, Jason. So I do have a link on here because there's a Jay Lee cover as well. I know there's a huge fan of Jay Lee in chats, but we'll get into that too because I will actually want to go to the Dynamite page.
And I think, speaking of cards too, I'm pretty sure, in fact, I'm sure that these comics will also have a trading card insert.
Oh, so even better.
I think you get a Mars Attacks card with these issues. Oh, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. No, you sold me. I need this. Let's go. And dang, Splash was at the Roswell crash site, and he believes. Listen, I believe so. Kev, yes, the original card. Yes, go look up that artwork on there. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I have over my shoulder here. I have a coffee table book on the original painter Norman Saunders. I have it up here on purpose for this. Big fan. He was an old like pulp cover artist. I love
pulps, yes.
And then ended up at Topps. He also painted those really off-model Batman trading cards from the 60s too. They're amazing. They're based more on the TV show. But Wally Wood, famous comic artist, you might know him from his Marvel work, his DC work, but mostly known for his EC stuff. He was the sort of the sketch artist on the cards, and Norman Saunders was the painter. And the stuff, they're really, you need to see them. I mean, I recommend popping around online and reading. I think there's 56 cards, something like that. And it kind of tells a story in order, but they're gorgeous and disturbing and hilarious. They're great.
All the best things. We have 2 super chats in here, but this one comes with a question. We have a lot of traditional and digital artists in the chat, and they have a question for you because they want to know, what ink brush do you use to get those buttery smooth lines?
I love that. That's a great question. I don't think I have one near the desk. Yes, I do, but I have a gray one. So I'm using these Pentel brush pens. So this is a gray one, but I use the black tipped. They do come in different colors. I started using these when I was traveling. I was actually in Prague working on a project for Dark Horse back in the day, and I couldn't get my art supplies packed up and over there. I wasn't allowed to bring like a bottle of ink on the plane. I think you know how it goes.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was kind of like actually dipping brush in ink. So I got these travel pens with the refillable. You just screw on these refills, and it's a synthetic. It's a longer brush. Well, whatever. I can keep showing you that. Yeah. So it's a longer.
Ooh.
It's a longer.
Okay.
Brush. And I get a great variety of line out of it. It's pretty even, clean stuff. So I've been using that for years.
Oh, nice.
The only issue is they're not fun to, they're still water soluble, like they're permanent, but they're water soluble a little bit. So they reactivate if you're trying to put white ink over top of them.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you're working like me and you're just perfectly on off and you're not doing too much texture, or you're going to scan it later and you can add effects, it can be problematic to work on top of. Other than that, they're fantastic.
Okay. Oh, that's fun. I do like the brush tips on stuff. I'm a big fan. I just picked up a couple of the Posca ones, which I didn't even know they did brush tips for Poscas, but
oh no. Just inside again.
Thank you. Yay, Michigan. But no, that's one of my favorite things is talking to artists and figure out what kind of supplies that they use, because I found India inks that way. I found all kinds of other supplies, and it's gotten me to art experiment like nobody's business. And I love doing that. That's so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, I do like pushing myself using other media as well. But for those that particular line work that person was asking about, like the dwelling style stuff, that's the brush I'm using. It's the Pentel color brush, is what it's actually called, and you get it in black, and you can get the refills.
Very nice. I like that it's refilled too, because I hate throwing out the casings. Yeah,
you can and that's the other thing too, is I know people that if they did want permanent ink in them, you can refill the cartridge with your own ink, and it's just a little bit squeezable to have it come out, so you can completely refit your brush too. Yeah, I've seen it done.
Very cool. In the recent talks about, yes, there was a lot of cards coming back. Cards are coming back. I noticed that a lot. A lot of comics are now coming with cards. I see that a lot on campaigns. I think because I got started in cards first before I got into comics. That was in the 80s. But that I'll always have a love in my heart for cards. There's just something about them.
Yeah, I'm okay with this new trend.
Me too. I like it. I dig it. I was actually going through here. I was going through my card sets the other day, and I was going through all the spawns. But I love the tall boys, the tall giant cards, because you get more art on there. They're so much fun. I dig those a lot. Yeah, really good stuff. Hold on. Drop all my stuff. Ah, crap. I'll get it.
And like a whole extra sentence of info on the back too.
It's like, it gets really in depth into the comic. And Al Gore says, "Hey," and if you don't know, Al Gore is the name of one of his Martians.
That's awesome.
Yes. Oh yeah, dude, the Topps card series from back in the day, I'm a huge fan. I will still buy the sealed ones whenever I follow them. The Bram Stoker's Dracula for Magnolia. Oh, good stuff. Vlad the Impaler, any of that stuff. Get it, read it. Those are fantastic. Yeah. They could be. Yeah, you don't know. Yeah. Sonia never. Oh, I'm sorry, Phil. Maybe one day she'll return your call. Yeah, this is also true.
The phone service in ancient Hyboria is really spotty.
Oh,
I wouldn't take it personally.
Oh, dang. So, you know what could be also on the phone call, but it's going to take light years upon light years to get
there you go.
Maybe she called you decades ago and it's not reached you yet, possibly.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Bo? How are you doing? Yes. Okay. So if you're addicted to crossovers, you're going to really enjoy the couple of titles that Dynamite has coming out, because they are crossing over a ton of stuff. So right now it's on pre-order from Dynamite and Diamond as well, because I know you're over in Australia. So wherever they're shipping to you or your comic store, you can get them out here. But we will be going to Dynamite in a minute. My guest from yesterday, I had to reschedule because I was super ill. It's Johnny Quest and Space Ghost. Listen,
very
you guys are just mashing all the most amazing things together. I'm very excited. But the actual ship date for this book is, I believe, the end of March. But it's on pre-order right now.
I had heard March 19th. But something like that.
Somewhere around there.
It won't be earlier than that.
Yeah. Yeah, but very exciting. It's nothing. Listen, I tried. I tried to hold it. Ooh, look. Okay, he's another really good artist. Well, he says you can get the archival ink refills that's waterproof. Oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I had
That's good
heard
to
that.
know.
Yeah. So yeah. I just like that. I just really love the synthetic brush tip on it, in that it's actual hairs, but you can rinse it out. Sometimes it
Yeah.
gets a little
See, I
too
like
dry and
that.
it's cleaned, and
Yeah.
they last a long time for me, surprisingly. Even though I beat the crap out of
Yeah.
them, I kind of like force the line sometimes, but I
I
like
like
them,
that.
and they travel easy.
Nice. I like that because I have a bunch of the ones that are like empty, and then you put whatever you want in there too. And then sometimes the tip goes on those. But I like the tip that you saw on there. It looked pretty cool. Oh no, you see what I did? Bless you. Hopefully, I'm not starting a chain reaction.
Who owes who a Coke? Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Travis? Yeah, we're getting all the art people up in here today. It was fantastic. Nice. Yeah, dude. A lot of people are going really heavy duty into the cards, which I kind of think work really well with comics and art in general because it's
Hmm.
just something else that you can collect that has art on it. And I'm just a huge fan of just discovering artists and art pieces, and I'm all for that. So hopefully more people get in there. Dang, I'm missing a lot of comments. Yes, thank you very much, Christina. Yeah. Oh, you do too. Nice. Listen, a lot of people are going with
Awesome.
the campaigns for those. It's amazing. You're king.
Oh yeah. So true.
I gave up on sharpening them. Like I just use a box cutter or a knife to cut my colored pencils now because I was so sick of the tips constantly breaking. Do the Martian? Interesting. Good question.
It's interesting you should ask that particular question, because the first scene in the first issue kind of opens with a Martian using some kind of projected spy technology looking at ancient Earth. So they got some kind of tech, and they had it a long time ago. I don't know what kind of tech they have now. But that's, I mean, like we were saying before too, when you leave the history of the Mars Attacks world as open as it is, where who knows what their story is. The good news is you got a lot of room to play, so I could just make this stuff up.
I mean, they could have crash landed here, long time ago, and that's how we got internet.
There you go.
See,
Maybe,
listen.
yeah, maybe it's like they live and there's some Martians hiding among us.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah, it is an actual crossover. It's Red Sonja and Mars Attacks. So
I'm sorry, it's real. Yes, it's happening.
No, that's fabulous. I think the world needs way more Mars Attacks content. What's up, Matt? How are you doing? Dave, the publisher, it's by Dynamite. Yes, Dynamite. That's right. Yes. Wait, dang. Hold on. Oh my goodness. I've gone through like a million comments. Oh geez. Okay. Question for Phil. Favorite and least favorite part of the whole process from idea to publication? Wow, that's a good question.
Least favorite. Interesting. Well, the favorite is, of course, like right at the end when you see the finished project, when you see how everyone has come together, the artist, the cover, and you're like, I can't believe this exists. That's always the best part when the book is done. Least favorite, I think, especially with licensed projects, is when you pitch your idea. You're like, I think this is it. I got it. And then you wait for the approval from the licensee, and you wait days, a week, maybe 2 weeks, and you're just like, I hope they like it. And it's just, yeah, you got to be really patient, and so far, touch wood, yeah, with most of these licensed products, the approval is usually forthcoming. Sometimes they have notes, but I've never pitched anything yet where they just went, no, this is dumb. But I always think they're going to say that.
Never. How could they say that? Shenanigans. That's right. That's okay, J-Bot. I'm also behind on chat, so you're good. But yes, thanks for asking. That was great. Yeah. Tate, you could be right. We don't know. Yeah, it's possible. We have no idea. And we'll be using the blonde bombshell alien from the movies. Gonna have to buy the book and find out.
I'm not even sure how. Well, the blonde bombshell from the movies, of course, is from. Are we going to say it's in continuity 90s, human planet Earth 90s? This is,
Yeah.
of course, taking place on ancient Hyboria. So I'm not sure they would have had that same disguise, but they might have had different disguises back then.
Oh,
Let's just put it that way.
interesting. I like this. And oh, dude, this
That
would
would be
be
so cool. Yeah.
that would be so dope. Everyone gives the Disney movie crap, but I love the John Carter movie. Dude, Edgar Rice Burroughs, so ahead of his time. It's insane. The dude was building alien worlds in like 1930s and earlier. It's crazy. I love this. That would be phenomenal. I would love that.
I was reading all those Ace paperbacks back in the day too. That's when I first started reading the Robert E. Howard stuff too.
Nice. Yeah.
And yeah, that would actually see. That's the same thing. To me, that would make perfect sense. I mean, who says the Tops Martians couldn't be living on another part of Mars? Yeah, that could work.
That could very well work because you don't know. There could be like a crevice. You don't know. Weird thing happening. And listen, A1. This is gonna be a trip to you right now. We're aliens to other planets.
There you go.
Boom.
We're really funny looking aliens to someone.
Yes. So there's multiple covers on this. There's actually blank covers on this one as well. You do have covers by Linsner, which is the one I have right here, and you have covers by Jay Lee. And there's another artist on here, but I can't remember the name at the top of my head right now. But let me see. I do have the page somewhere. Let's see where that's at. I love when you go to the page, it's just like ack all over the place. Greg Land has a cover as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. But yeah, no, it's fun. I'm very excited about this.
And the interior artist is Franz Strucken, who was the artist on the other Mars Attacks Red Sonja project. So he's the continuity between the two projects. He's from Zagreb in Croatia. Great dude who I have, of course, not met in person, but we seem to be jamming great. And he does his own like kind of indie stuff too. So he's part of a comics collective out in Zagreb called Fartographics. Interestingly enough, really cool, fun dude. So he totally gets the vibe we're going for, which is kind of like straight ahead, clean line adventure stuff that then sometimes just goes really sideways and strange. So yeah, great stuff.
That's the best kind of ways to go because you can really get creative and do some interesting things when that happens. So I love seeing that. And yeah, Kev, the limbo after the pitch feels like you're in a dish of lost information. It probably feels weird until you hear back from somebody.
Yeah. And also, when you first come up with the ideas, like that takes some effort. You're like, you think you've nailed it. You found your way into the project.
Yeah.
And you're just on tiptoes, just waiting for them to tell you that no, you're wrong, and you have to start all over again. But no, it doesn't usually work that way.
What's the longest you've ever had to wait, and you've ever thought, oh man, I haven't heard back from these people in forever, but they actually approved your pitch?
I think so. Back in the day, a long time ago, I wrote an Aliens story for when Dark Horse had the license called Aliens Wraith. The artist was Eduardo Rizzo. Actually, it was a one shot, really cool project, but the license holders were really picky. Like there was a huge Bible on the background of the Wayland Company Corporation, and like the history of Alien versus Aliens versus the stuff that had already appeared in the comics. So it was a lot of stuff to go through. So that script took a little while to approve because I think they had to have experts pick through it and make sure I wasn't doing anything wrong. But it worked. It actually exists. So, but I had to wait a long time for that one.
Oh, I love all the old Dark Horse Star Wars stuff. Some of my favorites. You can't listen. The Dave Dorman when he was doing some art on there. Oh, come on, that was fabulous stuff.
If you guys want to see one of the weirdest Star Wars short stories ever, yes. I wrote Andrew one for Star Wars Tales for Dark Horse. That is so. George Lucas is famously on record for saying that he was a Jack Kirby fan and was inspired by them. So I did a Jack Kirby-esque Star Wars story.
Okay.
Called the Rebel 4. When you see it, you'll get it.
I'm gonna have to pull that up. I have a whole bunch of the Dark Horse Star Wars stuff, so that would be hilarious. I'm gonna have to pull that up. You're gonna have to come back and then we'll talk more about your other stuff. That's a very good question. I'm not sure. You mean John Carter? So did travel the way John Carter did?
Well, I do in this miniseries. I am dragging her across the ancient continent. So there is a lot of traveling, but there are various modes of transport. Some some Hyborian and some Martian.
Interesting. Okay. I like this because this was actually a question earlier from A1. He wanted to know, does Sonia take a portal, a rocket ship, or space? So how does she get to Mars? Very good question.
Now, well, okay. See, I don't want any spoilers. This might be spoilerish stuff.
Oh.
So yeah, that's top secret information.
Aha. See, listen, you just gotta buy all the books. That's what's happening. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, I clicked the thing and it came back here. Now I'm all lost in my chat. Hold on. Here we go. We actually have another super important question from Phil. I know this is probably going to be your hardest question to ever answer. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
I'm Canadian, so yeah. It's never bothered me. I've been eating it since I was a kid. Yep. It seems normal to me.
Perfect. Listen.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I don't have it all the time. It's not my favorite. It's not a go-to. But yep, it doesn't bother me at all. Doesn't seem weird.
Canadian bacon is delicious. It kind of goes with pineapple. It's kind of good.
I mean, we got some weird stuff up here. We have clamato juice. I don't know if you guys know that one.
No.
That's like clam tomato juice that we use in our Caesar cocktails. Weird, gross. Yeah.
Yeah, stay away from that.
Weird. We got some weird stuff up here.
Listen, I'm like 20 minutes from Ontario, so yes, I am very familiar with Canada. Yes. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you guys come to Detroit, go to Buddy's, get yourselves a pineapple, ham, pepperoni pizza from Buddy's. It's the best. I don't know what it is, the combination about the dough, the pineapple, and the sauce. It's just magical. It's the best pineapple pizza you'll ever have.
That sounds great. That sounds great to me.
Perfect. Oh, that's giant. You gotta have a giant moon base somewhere that's kind of like a giant Buc-ee's, like for space travelers. That's why I picture all sci-fi space adventures. You think of Spaceballs, that little scene where they're in the diner in the middle of nowhere. I always picture that somewhere. It's a space travel movie. Yeah. Interesting. CJ has a question. Any plans for a Mars Attack Dinosaurs Attack crossover?
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna start pitching all the craziest crossovers to Dynamite because it seems like they let me do anything. So, I'm gonna give it a go. I'm really excited about the possibility too. I mean, I'm not saying we've had these conversations, but with the Hanna-Barbera stuff that Dynamite is doing with Warner, they also now have the Warner Brothers has the Cartoon Network stuff, so they now have the rights to my old animated series Secret Saturdays, which means there is a possibility that I could be writing new Secret Saturdays stuff at Dynamite and maybe mashing it up with the Herculoids or Space Ghost or Johnny Quest. That would be pretty cool.
That would be fun. I'm really digging the crossovers that Dynamite has right now, and I'm digging that they're bringing back some of the older stuff as well. If I could get, listen, you have Space Ghost. If I could get more Brack in my life, my life would be set. I need that. Need that to happen. Let's pitch this to Dynamite. Let's go. The world needs more Brack. Red Sonja meets barbed wire.
Interesting.
Okay. Hey, interesting. There's. It could happen. Listen. Get someone in to get you a good sketch cover, and then paste that and tag Nick and a bunch of people from Dynamite and see if get the property out of that.
There you go.
It was very much underrated. Yes. Yes. Dude, a lot of people started with those, and that's how they got into comics. They read like a comic. They're fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, big fan myself too. Yeah. I've got a collection of some in the other room. I still, because that's the other thing too, is those covers. I remember those like Frazetta paintings and stuff as a kid too.
Oh.
Just like so much of that single visual would bring you into the story.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Super huge fan of going to old bookstores and hunting the old hardcovers, even the paperbacks, just because of the art that's on there.
Yeah.
Dude, Clyde Caldwell, Ken Kelly, all these guys, they were doing amazing paintings and art back in the day. And I wish more people knew about them. Like, they don't really see them too often, but their art on those books is just phenomenal. And it's kind of sad when you see books nowadays because they're just kind of like the generic. They don't really have the art on there. And I miss that on books. It's just, it's another art form that needs to come back and get out there. Let's go. Let's bring those guys back. Yeah. CJ has a couple of art questions for you. Right. And also, I've got a couple super chats in here. I'm sorry to Matt, to JBot, and we're chatting and having a good time. And I'm failing behind on my chat. I know. Sorry. But CJ wants to know is, do you do all of your work traditionally?
Mostly. So I have a hybrid work form. I was saying earlier that I do have a YouTube channel through my Linktree, and there are some demo videos on there of how I work. But yeah, I do. The short version is I do pencil roughs, scan those, and sort of correct them or reassemble them if I need to. Rarely, and then print those out as blue lines, larger. So light cyan, non-repro blue, the old animation. And then I ink on those. Then I rescan the ink so I don't have to do any erasing. Rescan the inks nice and crispy clean. And then everything else is digital. So all the colors and everything else is done digitally. But the drawing for me is still, old school. Yeah.
Very cool. I like that. And I think that's becoming more and more popular with artists nowadays. They still have the traditional piece, but they like it, but they like printing that out. Like, they'll do it and tweak it in the digital stuff and then print it back out and blue line it. But then you still have something that's inked traditionally, because a lot more people have been coming back to more traditional art because they want something from the actual book. So I see that happening a lot in comics where digital artists are trying to do something at least physical, so that
partially physical at least, so there's some artifact, some physical part of the process of creation. It's hard to give up. It's not like I haven't done purely digital work, but there's something about it that goes missing for me. I don't know how to explain it.
I'm behind on chat. I know. Yes, we said that this. Well, I don't know about this particular series, but this is. You said about a 4-issue series, possibly. We're gonna go there. But
there definitely it's certainly left at a place where there could be.
Perfect.
There could be.
It all depends on the audience. Keep buying the books, and then maybe more. Yeah. That's how you get your barbed wire. Dinosaurs attack. Keep buying.
Red Sonja and John Carter Attack Mars.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so JSS wants to know, what is your dwellings book in your background office? As a part of a set, it looks interesting. Would you like to talk about your dwellings book?
Why? Thanks for asking.
Yes.
So that's the collection from my new Oni Press series called Dwellings. That was originally a crowdfunder, like grassroots underground comic by Black Eye Books up here in Canada. But this is the new collection of 6 issues from Oni Press. It is an adult horror comic with fake ads and everything, drawn to look like a vintage sort of Casper the Friendly Ghost Richie Rich comic. So it looks cute, and it hits hard. It is a scary, true horror comic, but drawn cute.
It's adorable violence. That's it's perfect. It's also got some funny
Dwellings,
parts
not for kids.
Yes. Despite what the cover art looks like, it's not for children.
Nope.
But I enjoy that, and I think there's a lot of, because we have cartoonists in here as well. Actually, you would probably really enjoy, because of your background with the stuff that you enjoy. You would like J-Bot's book a lot, Berserker. It's in that cartoony realm of cartoon violence as well.
Right on.
You would be right up for this as well.
Cool.
You want a super small spoiler? Listen, there's aliens in it. There you go.
Well, I already mentioned the zombie Martians, right?
You did mention those. That's right. Oh, dang, figure drawing. Yes. So Red Sonja has red
So
hair.
you're saying that I'm only so I'm just being a good soldier by saying I like pineapple on pizza. It's just what
It's
Canadians say. They don't
delicious.
really
Wow.
mean it.
Yeah. And
Maybe our taste buds are permanently frozen. I don't know.
oh, that could be. That could be. It is like, did you see the pictures where Niagara Falls was completely frozen over? Did you see? Have you seen that?
No.
Man, it was like -22 or something. Like last week, it was insane. And listen, I told you you're going to get lots of praise for your shirt.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hammer Dracula.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah. You got the cool stuff. Listen, you have so much cool stuff back there. You can come back for hours and we can talk about your cool stuff on the back of your shelf. It's great. Uh, yes. Also, good times. Listen, Kev, you're from your area. Kev and Phil are from my area, so they all know all about the Detroit style pizza. Let's go. Good. Good, Phil. Good.
Now I'm hungry for pineapple pizza. What have you done to me? Gonna
Oh,
go
this is
have
a
some
good.
now.
This is interesting. She uses the blood of Martians to dye her hair.
Ooh.
Well, if they're Martians, do they have red blood?
Tim Burton seemed to imagine they had like a greenish blue blood, right?
Yeah. Green, blue blood. Yes.
But is that canon? I don't know.
Yeah. What's up, Lorena? Yes, you're just popping in. Yes, Red Sonja Attacks Mars. Correct. So if I know you're a big fan of the Dynamite stuff, this is a follow-up to the series. You said about 2020 when the
I
original
think so.
series
Yeah,
came
I'm
out?
pretty sure that's when the collection came out anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. And Cap here is a big fan of Secret Saturdays.
Yay,
So
thank
let's
you.
go.
Right
Let's
on.
go. Red Sonja meets K-pop. Listen, that'd happen anytime. Let's go. Oh, Mars attacks with tremors.
That's a great idea.
Ooh, Tremors is one of those properties that I love. It's another kind of like comedic violence.
Absolute
movie.
classic. Although you'd want to write it so that they were both attacking. So I think you'd call it
Oh,
Tremors and Mars Attacks. And
oh,
just humanity
yeah.
is just running scared. Yeah, alien invasion. Yeah, from the sky and from underneath
Yeah.
at the same time.
Well,
Terrifying.
you also can't do a Tremors movie without going further into the franchise when the ass blasters are there.
Oh yeah.
Those are some of my that's some of my favorites. Yes. Oh man, I'm so behind. Yes, another fellow Canadian right here. Yes, dude, I love Hanna-Barbera. That's one of my favorite things. We used to go to, what was it, Epcot or Disney, the other one. They had the Hanna-Barbera stuff rides. You don't see that anymore when you go. They don't really talk about any of that.
I'm a huge Hanna-Barbera fan. I think in the background I've got a book on it as well that I refer to all the time. I mean, my Secret Saturdays that just came up. I mean, obviously, Secret Saturdays is kind of my love letter, my homage to that era of animation. Yeah. Love that stuff.
Yes. And listen, I was going to bring this up, but Red Sonja drives Cadillacs to kill dinosaurs. Cadillacs and dinosaurs can come back. That needs to come back. Why is my phone going blip blip? Hold on. I thought I turned you off. Be quiet. Here you go.
Maybe your sneeze activated it.
That's what happened. That's what happened. I sneezed and it woke my phone up, and everyone was like, "Oh, you're awake." Yes. Ooh, Thunder the Barbarian. So let's go. Yeah.
It's just a Ookla the Mock solo story is good enough for me.
Yes. I've been picking up some weird tales that have to do with like barbarian stuff. I just picked up a whole lot of like the Thrud the barbarian stuff. That stuff is great.
I love it. I love it.
I love it. I'm here for it. Oh, that's a good question, JSS. Oh man, I am a huge fan of Frazetta. Is there any Frazetta art that inspires you most? Any particular hardcovers of his you recommend? Bro.
That's a good question. No, I'm just generally a great fan. In fact, I recommend yeah, there you go. That's a great one. Yeah.
There's two covers of this. This one came out not too long ago, but this is fantastic. Get you some of that, JSS. I know you're a fan of art and stuff. You would appreciate that.
Yeah, honestly, you can't go wrong. I don't think he's ever done. Yeah. I mean, even if you go back to his earliest days as a teenage illustrator at EC Comics, it's still perfect. He's just been great in pen and ink all the way through.
So good. It's awesome too, because when you see his like pencils, you see his art style, you see his like just basically any form of art, because he took all of that. He did oil paintings. Like it's fantastic to see all that stuff. I love it.
Yeah, the real
it's really good stuff. Yeah. Land of the Lost. Oh my gosh. I would love some Land of the Lost stuff. Can you imagine the amount of stuff that you could be doing?
What if there were fast slee stacks?
Oh, yes. Oh, so scary. I love that movie so much. That remake is probably one of my favorite things. The Will Ferrell.
Land of the
So
Lost would be
easy.
great.
So good.
That's a
I would
good one.
love Land of the Lost. That's a good one.
That feels more like a Gold Key thing.
Yes.
I think Gold
Yeah.
Key did old Land of the Lost comics. Maybe I should bug them about pursuing a license.
Ooh. Oh man. Okay. There are some amazing Golden Age heroes that are public domain now, by the way, that severely need to come back, and that would be kind of awesome. I would dig that team up very much so. Yeah. Let's see.
Phantom Lady. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, projector. Dude, I love when people use projectors for stuff. I like it when they do like those intricate rugs of like cartoon stuff.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I use projectors mostly for if I'm doing larger mural work, which I've done in the past too, because as I was saying, I'll do anything. I write, I draw. I had a does anyone remember I had a daily newspaper strip once called Oh Brother with my friend Bob Weber Jr. I've been all over the place. So I have to always mention whether one of my projects like Dwellings is not for kids.
Yes.
Because I also do kids comics, so I gotta be like, don't touch that one. I know it looks like it's for
that's
you.
for your parents. Yeah. But yeah, that cover is dope. That one that you have on Dwellings right there. That is the one that you have. Is that hardcover still available? Can people still pick that up?
It is. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, you know what?
It came out this summer, so it should still be around. Yeah.
I'll link it below when I find it, because I know there's places that still sell that all over the place.
And we got a new Dwellings series coming up at Oni later this year.
Oh, perfect.
Well, so
yeah.
We'll talk about that more when it gets closer to it. But yeah, there's more coming.
Yeah, come back for that. Oh, blame CC's. That's where you had your first. Listen, I would not consider CC's real pizza.
Sounds like pineapple wasn't your problem.
Yeah. And also, listen, I almost wore my Killer Clown shirt today. Killer Clowns is one of my all-time favorite things of all time. That game is coming out now, or is out in beta testing, whatever. That is gonna, I think, bring out some new love for the clowns, and it needs to happen, because that is some of the best, wackiest time you need to see. If you haven't seen it, Glenn, I forced Glenn to watch that this year.
See, that makes it actually feels like a perfect mashup. Mars Attacks
Mars.
I could totally see that.
I would love to see their home planet. You don't see that because they are in fact aliens. I want more of that. Killer Clowns literally is one of the best things. I need more of that in my lifetime. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of TV channels that have classic cartoon channels. Listen, flexing on fools. What? Oh, that's right. Thank you. Yeah. 7 minutes behind. Not bad. Dang it. Okay. Thundercats meets suggestions. You know.
Could work.
Could work. Also, next week I have Thundercats for Dynamite on, so come and check it out. Who knows? We might find out more information over there. Frizetta. Oh, I said Frizetta. Yeah. Oh, really? Very cool. I miss those. Awesome. Oh my god. No, I don't think there's Mars Attacks. I don't think that's happening, CJ. I think that's the one thing that's not happening. Yeah. You guys, very good question. Do you accept commissions?
I sometimes do commissions, but only when I'm not busy. So keep an eye on my Instagram. I'll announce it when I'm accepting, and I do a few at a time. So yeah, sometimes.
Perfect. It's also in your link tree, but I'll go with your right now and drop that.
Yeah, no, link tree is great. Yeah.
Yes.
That's everything in one place.
Yes, because you even have links to all of your playlists as well, which I pretty much dig. Here, this right here is your Instagram. Pop this down here. Go hit him up in there and go follow him.
Awesome.
Go follow him all the places, because you got some cool art. You get some cool information happening. So get that on there. And you're trash. Get out of here, James. He's a liar. He's enjoying this. Red
cool.
Sonja t-shirt. Let's go.
Canonasties. That's a good deep cut. Yeah. So for those that don't know, a Canonasty is that's the nickname for Canadian horror films made starting in the 70s with the Canadian film laws, where you got tax breaks for making movies in Canada. So Cronenberg, David Cronenberg's oeuvre comes out of that era, but there are a lot of great schlocky, wonderful bizarre horror movies made during that time. Black Christmas, of course, famous Canonasty.
Oh,
Inspired the POV, popularized, not inspired, the POV killer, holiday killer genre.
yeah.
One of my
Olivia
favorite
Hussey.
Canonasties is called Pin. You guys should look for Pin. Very bizarre. It's a see-through clear medical dummy that talks. It's
that
great.
sounds fabulous. I gotta
Great.
watch that. Yeah.
It's rare, hard to find. Yeah, love that stuff.
Listen, my favorite movie. I had this on my wall, and so I took it down because I'm redoing my up here. My favorite movie, anything Linnea Quigley, but Sorority Babes and Simon Bolorama. Probably one of my favorite stupidest movies of all time. It's
very cool.
Majestic.
Excuse me.
Thanks, James. I know you like. Listen. Can't all be Fast and Furious movies. Family. I know. Yeah. You're welcome. Listen, I'm catching up. Listen. Yes, I love Black Christmas. Olivia Hussey, she just recently passed away.
Yeah.
She was beautiful. Oh, come on.
Absolutely incredible in that film too. And yeah.
Good times.
And Andrea Martin from SCTV.
There was that original 70s Black Christmas movie is fantastic. I don't really care for too much of the remake one that came out not too long ago, but that movie, good times. But yeah, I finally caught up. Listen, haha, guys, I caught up in chat. Jesus.
It was my fault. I was just yapping.
Listen, I told you we're going to get chatty, especially with all the cool stuff that we be talking about. This is good times. But what I want to do, though, is I want to go to your the page that's actually on the Dynamite page. We can actually look at some of the covers here. And boom, check it out. So here is the page for your Dynamite, which is linked down below. So you have $4.99 price. You got a bunch of covers in here, which are lovely. You got the blank cover, you have Greg Land's cover, Jay Lee and June Chung cover, and then you have the Linsner cover, which is right here. And let me see if I can open this so you can just check this out real quick. It's so pretty. Like, come on. Mm-hmm. It's gorgeous. Look at the alien. The spaceships down there. There's buildings happening. Look at he is just like yeah. Soundtrack all this whole cover right now. But yeah, here, check these out. And then this is the Jay Lee cover. Let me see if I can open this real quick.
Yeah, look at
wait. Have I not moved? I did not move it. Wait, let's make it tiny. There we go. Let me see this better. Yeah, so if you don't know, they do have a new Barbarella series that's been running for the last couple of years. A1. Where'd it go? Why can't I open that? What's happening?
There we go. There's the Greg Land one. Yeah.
Yeah. This one is the Jay Lee one, but I love this little alien here without the casing on it. Interesting. I love seeing that. You get more of the details on there, so that's fun to see them without their suits. And here's the Greg Land one. Also, super awesome.
Yeah.
the one I like that their eyeballs when they're looking at her.
Oh yeah. That POV is very disturbing.
They're like, oh, what is that? I don't think I've ever seen that before. Look at this. Look at these faces. You can tell that they love this. But also you have the blank here, which is actually pretty nice. And then you have the black and white covers, and you have some of the version covers as well. Yeah. Oh, it's good stuff. You get a lot of cool things happening in here, but yes, check this out. So you do, okay. It says on sale day. Oh, because this changed. That was the 26th the last time I looked. So now it's
it is the 19th. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, nice. I'll have to change that in the thing, but yes, very nice. Oh, perfect. JSS has followed you on Instagram. Nice.
Hey, thank you.
Yes, and the Barbarella right there. If you haven't known them, A1, they've done a couple Barbarella series for a bit. Selena O'Brien. Oh, interesting. Well, we got lots of Red Sonja and Barbarella happening. So listen, that's a mashup too. That should probably happen at one point.
And Vampirella, and yeah, we got
all the babes. That's right.
All the Ellas.
All the Ellas. That's right. Oh, interesting. You have a Red Sonja Mars Attacks cover in your collection. You got it a while back. Okay. Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
That might have been probably the first.
That would be from the first series, yeah.
The first series, yeah, because it's the follow-up. So if you're just joining us, Jean, it is a follow-up here. Let me drop the link one more time. This one right here is the link to where you can go purchase this. Is it on pre-order because it doesn't get shipped out until mid-March-ish right now.
Right.
But yeah, that's fantastic. You have a lot of cool covers. I really like this. Linsner, you can't go wrong with Linsner. Linsner does really good. But I love this Jay Lee cover.
Yeah,
She
it's
just
good.
looks so pretty. And then I love this little image right here.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
fascinating because you don't really see them out of their little suits there. But I like that. I like seeing this.
Right. Do they even need their helmets? Has that
That's a
been
good question.
perfectly established? I
That's a good
don't know.
question. Hmm.
Was the air in ancient Hyboria different than the modern air from the Tim Burton films?
That's right.
Who knows?
Gotta catch up on the previous story. That's right. I know. I need to go back and find that and read that. I'm very. Oh man, great day to be sick. But yeah, no, this is all fascinating. I really enjoying all of this stuff here. Um, yes, our friend the worm, Jay Lee, ended up leaving a con, and then he slid in there and took his
Oh
booty.
yeah, nice move. And everyone thought they were coming there to find Lee? Is that how that?
Possibly,
That's awesome.
yes,
It's a
yeah.
good move.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
good move.
Oh. Now Pops wants Barbarella meets barbed wire.
Okay.
Get
Okay.
out of that. Okay. Well, we'll send these. We'll send a lengthy email with suggestions
I
to
mean, Mars
Team
Attacks
the Dynamite.
Barbarella. Mars Attacks Barbarella kind of works too.
Mm,
You know.
it does both spacey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lots of space happening. I know. It's been. Okay. So, guys, have any other questions? Plop them in chat. And here, let me drop your links to your YouTube one more time because you have a really cool. I like your YouTube channel. It's very nice. Plopping this down here. Go follow him. He's got some cool stuff. I also like your takes on gold keys because gold keys, Dells, that whole era of stuff. I'm just really baked into.
Underappreciated. Yeah,
Super.
I've been working on one. Should be out soon on Howard Post. Howie Post, who was the original designer of Hot Stuff at Harvey Comics,
Yes.
too, and had a really interesting career. So yeah, some of that stuff. You know, I thought every comics nerd knew this stuff, and then over time, having conversations, I realized, you know, like the Mr. and Mrs. J Evil Scientist video that I have up there. I'm like, oh, you guys don't know this stuff? Oh, I should probably talk about it on my YouTube.
Oh, dude, I gotta send two guys your way on your channel, Steppo and Alan. They are huge into the Golden Age. They collect all that stuff. They have like the hot
Nice.
stuffs. They have the Harvey things. They have
Yep.
all of that. But they are huge into any Golden Age stuff. And
Awesome.
I love seeing because a lot of those properties they are public domain now. That's interesting. But I would love to see some of those characters come back into because there were so many good ones back then. They did a lot of space stuff. It was all fabulous. I love all of it.
Yeah, really cool histories, and again, like overlooked. You know, I think for so many years, collectors were naturally more interested in like superhero stuff, so Marvel and DC, especially when I was younger, and then slowly expanding. It takes you a while to get as far out as like Gold Key or Dell or Harvey, and I don't think they were appreciated, and because of that, for so many years, people weren't collecting them. They got thrown out. They just disappeared.
Yeah.
So now they're really hard to find. They're getting harder and harder to find, like a good collection of
the good condition ones are. But if you still want funds to read, you can still get them $3 to $5, sometimes $10 depending on commission. So if you're ever anywhere, just go through that because that's got some of the cool stuff in it. There's a lot of really old Disney stuff in there that is just fabulous. I love all of that stuff. Like Harvey Comics, those are probably the harder ones to find more than any of the other Charleston stuff.
Kids kind of read those to pieces, really. Yeah.
Yes, I think so too. There's a lot of guys in the community that I think would really enjoy it. And I know Lorenzo is a huge fan of your Dwellings book. He has another indie comic show that he likes to go over. But yeah, he was a huge fan of Dwellings as well. I know. I'm very excited to see what else is going to come from you because I want to read this. I'm going to go get me some of these blanks as well to draw some aliens on. I can't wait. Very exciting. But I'm very excited to get into Dwellings and some of your other stuff again. So yeah, you are welcome to come back here anytime. We will nerd out. Go over fun stuff.
Right on. Yeah, no, that was fun. That hour went by really fast.
It does. I know. It goes by. Everyone's always like, we could do like a 20. I'm like, there's no way I could do a 20-minute. No, not happening. No, it's not. Never. I don't care.
Not when you're doing a 10-minute sidebar on pineapple pizza. I mean, we got important stuff to cover.
Exactly. If it's not covering the pineapple on pizza, and also, okay, I'll ask your two questions that you asked, and we can go through that real quick. Normally we talk about hot dogs. That did not get brought up either. I'm sorry. I know. It's not a true Fartist feature unless we talk about hot dogs. And CJ is wanting to know, it's a two-parter. You can, maybe not, we don't have to answer this, or you can just give a quick answer at it.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on AI art? And what do you think is a greater threat to U.S. artists, AI or overseas worker on Fiverr for $1.15 per hour? Wow.
So no, I don't think AI is necessarily a threat to artists. I don't see it the same way some of my fellow artists do, but I understand the nervousness surrounding it.
Yeah.
It's just another tool. But I do think trying to pass off AI art as legitimate art is bullshit. That is cheating. There are no cheat codes to being good at art. There's no shortcut. You have to draw. So if you are just taking stuff, I mean, it's not, I suppose, I've heard some people say it's not that different from collage artwork, I suppose. But there's a certain point of, I like to see the artist in the work. And if there's none of you in it, then it's not art. So I just get, I actually think it's going to shake out the way that it's going to shake out the way we were talking about earlier, how people are getting back to drawing for real. Digital artists are actually trying to return to a more physical medium.
Yeah.
Well, that's the actual direction stuff's going in. AI is just a fake cheat code. It's not real, man.
Yes, exactly. And I think too, if you're going to use AI and actually use AI to do an art piece, you need to put that in there. You don't be like, oh, hey, I drew this, if you're just using AI. But also, when you're not drawing traditionally or not drawing digitally, doing it yourself, the little mistakes that you have as you're doing it is what makes you a better artist. Sometimes the mistakes lead to a better art project that you're going to do later on down the road, and you're going to lose that lack of creativity if you're just going to jump into a program that's going to do it for you. So
absolutely. I mean, I found out I was on a list of artists that were being swiped. There's a bit of that too, but I haven't seen any direct lifts. I don't know about that part, but I could see it as a useful tool. I don't know why it wasn't trained on public domain and Creative Commons work. I don't know why you couldn't have trained AI to be using material that was legal. I'll never understand why they just set it loose, like let the dogs out on artists out here trying to make a living. That's bizarre to me. But I can see a tool like that. Like sometimes I search for reference if I'm trying to draw like a flipped semi trailer. I don't know what the underneath of a semi trailer looks like, so I'm looking for reference online. I can see AI being an interesting tool for artists to like build a mock-up of something that then you draw from. It's just a tool, and it depends on how you use it. But if you're using it to pass off yourself as a successful, talented artist, that's not cool.
I can also see it working a lot more towards writers as well. When they're trying to envision something and they can't really figure out what exactly, especially like sci-fi stuff, they're trying to get creative with something. I can see that helping them get a better picture of what they're trying to write on paper when they're coming up with a story. Like that kind of thing I can see. Yes.
Yep. and then you could rewrite on top of that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Listen, it took me 30 some years doing art to not hate my art, but to get in the mind zone of, listen, if you fuck it up the first time, it's not going to be as fucked up the second time you do it.
Listen, the minute you stop, the minute you think your art's perfect, you've lost it. You've lost your audience. Because I mean, I'm not going to name names, but we've all seen artists that we used to love get kind of higher in their own supply and just keep repeating the same thing over and over and over, and then they have nothing left to learn. They think they have nothing left to learn, no experiments left, no mistakes left, and they get boring fast. So the mistakes are the good part. You should be fucking up. That's exactly how you get better.
Exactly. So fuck up, make mistakes, make your art better. Also, I was always pencil artist my entire life. It never occurred to me to try other mediums. Sometimes you got to do that, and it sparks a new love for your art that you're doing and your craft, and makes you want to do other things. So go out there, art experiment, people, make mistakes, get out there, get dirty. I don't feel like I've completed an art piece unless I got my hands are covered in ink, whatever. Like that's how I love to do art. So let's go. Yeah. I'm getting the bad sniffles right now, so we can wrap it up a little bit, and then you are welcome to come back here anytime. When you come back with your dwellings, we could do that as well.
That'd be great. Yeah. Awesome.
Hold on, let's make us. There we go. Now we're even. And hold on a second. J-Bot says you're afraid to use AI; it'll weaken your imagination. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I think so too.
That's sort of what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. It's the way that you draw a tree or a bicycle or a face that makes it art. You know, there is no. I think that's my problem with AI is there's no right way to make a piece of art.
Yeah.
And AI is trying to tell us this is what these prompts do.
It's every time you give me
these prompts, this is what it does. And I'm like, who said so? Don't boil down the totality of human art into one channel of prompts. It's not fun.
Some of my favorite art of all time is weird street art. It's fantastic. It's the sketchily weird doodly bits that you see, and it's more streamlined when you go to AI. It's too clean. I need different variations of art. I love seeing all that stuff, but it's fantastic.
But again, it's just a tool. You don't have to use it. And I think we can all see it when we see it. That's the other thing too, is I didn't realize how glaringly obvious it was going to be. But like every time I see a piece, I'm like, yeah, that is, nobody made that. I could.
There's still some covers that I see on campaigns where people will use an AI reference and they forget to go in and clean it up, where it will have 6 fingers still.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're gonna do that, okay, go and really inspect your image, clean it up just a bit. If you're not doing a super alien story where 6 fingers are required, go clean it up.
That's right. If you can go ahead and be too lazy to be a real artist, but you can't be too lazy not to be an editor. You still need to edit that shit.
There you go. Boom. That's the best answer right there. Before we get out of here, do you have any other shows coming up on your YouTube channel that you're going to be doing video-wise, or do you have cons coming up?
No, I'm kind of in a quiet nose to the grindstone at my drawing table zone right now. So I'm finishing up on the Figgy Furthermore kids comic that I'm doing for Old Key, and getting ramped back up on EC and writing some stories for Oni Press's EC Comics, as well as the new Dwellings. So it won't be until the summer that I'm back on the road or doing anything outside of trying to meet my deadlines, which is the story of my life.
Listen, if I could do that, it'd be perfect. I would love to do that. Do you have a main con that you usually go to, like even just to walk around or just for yourself, have fun?
Well, yeah, the most fun one for me here in Southern Ontario is the TCAF, Toronto Comic Arts Festival. Yeah. Just because most of my dearest friends are there for that, and I think it's at a brand new location this year too. So that's
interesting.
So even if I'm not tabling, which I'm sure I will be at least sitting with one of my publishers for a minute there, I will be there. I will be at TCAF this year. So that's some place people can find me. I'll be walking around. I look like this, and
all day long. Hoodies. That's what I mean. I have artists here that go to TCAF because it's just like, I don't know, a couple hours away, not even. So a bunch of my guys from here go there. So that's exciting. Yeah, I think it was like a giant story library last year. Like that.
Yeah, it's been there for probably 6 or 7 years at least. But I think they're too big for it even at this point. So they're relocating. It
looked like they had a ton of people there last year when I saw it, and they were like kind of just like all stuck around. But that looks like a really fun one to go to. So I'm kind of excited.
It's really chill. Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Nice. And then we'll see. I mean, I don't want to get too much into it. Yeah, that's it. Not sure what crossing the border to the south is going to look like this coming summer. So
Oh.
I just waiting to see how things play out. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll see. Maybe I'll be at San Diego again this year.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. That one seems so crazy to me.
It's
I've never been
insane.
there. I would like to do it one time and that would be it because it would just be too overwhelming with stuff to do. Yeah.
Absolutely
Like,
exhausting.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like it. But yeah, Loke is another fellow Toronto artist as well. So yeah.
Loke gets it. That's right.
Toronto. No
Toronto.
T's. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on and hanging with me. It's been a lot of fun getting to know you. And yes,
Thanks,
all your links are down below. Your YouTube, your link tree, all that stuff. Plus the link to the Dynamite where you can go purchase stuff because there are blanks in there. I know some of you guys are gonna want some blanks because we need more blanks in our life. Get those sketch covers, people. But yeah, come hang with us next time. I'll be back on Sunday with CJ in his chat going over the shift campaign. So let's go check that out. And we're gonna get out of here. Also,
All right.
You're welcome. I don't have an outro. So you guys know what that means. You don't know what that means, but that means I hope you bought your spaz dancing shoes. Oh, that's right. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfect.